Let's start this evening. A warm welcome to all of you, all the Vedatrians, sky meditators, and friends present in this English spiritual session. Many people in different spiritual movements talk about Kundalini awakening, science, steps, and benefits. Sorry, I was muted by someone. Be blessed by the divine. Many people in different spiritual movements talk about Kundalini yoga. We all know Kundalini is a form of energy, that is Shakti, which is located in the base of the spine. In ancient days, to awaken this Kundalini, it was a Herculean task, and sages used to find it hard and took long duration to awaken it. It was awakened by using mantra, tantra, yantra, yoga, and meditation. But why do people want to awaken it? Because they believe there are lots of benefits in doing so. It helps you to channelize your powerful energy and transform your life. What steps to be followed to awaken it? Let us listen to this interesting topic now from our professor, whom not only we, but many people in this globe must be knowing very well. Yes, on this special day, we are honored to have our Professor Krish Murleshwar Sir from Bangalore, who will be talking on the topic Kundalini Awakening, Science, Steps, and Benefits. To mention about our professor, Professor Krish Murleshwar Sir is an electrical engineering with an executive certificate from Harvard Business School on product development. He has worked for various multinational companies like Wipro in the top management level and traveled across many countries in his professional lives. Coming to his spiritual path, Sar got into the sky system in 1984, and during that time, he reached Alia with great difficulty as the public transport was not functioning due to the demise of the then Chief Minister M.G. Ramchandran in Tamil Nadu. This shows how determined he was in getting into the system and the kind of blessings he has got. Yes, 36 years of spiritual journey. Sar was blessed to learn Kayakalpa from our Swamiji in 1986 and became a master in Kundalini Yoga in 1987. He has been teaching Kayakalpa Yoga for the past decade or so. At present, he is the Director IT of World Community Service Center. He transferred the functioning of the WCSC IT department. His innovative techniques have helped to spread the Sky Yoga system to different corners on the globe. One more exciting news for you all is our sir has taken enormous effort to make an attempt to get into the Guinness Book of World Records for maximum number of people attending in online meditation class, followed by meditation on 28th of March 2021 for the Swamiji's memorable day. Please wait for it. In the recent past, he has been teaching Kayakalpa Yoga over the internet medium for aspiring students across the world. He is a creator of the kayakalpayoga.edu.in and few other apps for WCSC. His 900 plus videos and audio podcasts are quite popular in the social media. Sar has over 1 lakh followers in the YouTube across the globe. This is the only center in India which conducts Skype practices in English. People from other states and across the world come to attend his introspection classes and Kai Kalpa classes pre-COVID times. I am blessed to be a part of his team in rendering whatever small services I could do. I see him as a moving digital library with so much of knowledge in various fields. He is always cool and down to earth personality and has answers to every problem according to my experience. Sir is the ardent follower of Vedatrium. We have such an eminent personality with us tonight. I request our professor Krish Murleshwar sir to conduct this session on the topic Kundalini Awakening, Science, Steps and Benefits. Be blessed by the divine. Over to you, sir.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. A lady from Germany called me a few days ago and said while she was sleeping, she had a dream in which she had snakes crawl up her backbone. It was truly a nightmare. She searched the internet, found one of my videos, and messaged me to ask me if this was anything to do with Kundalini awakening. I assured her that it was nothing more than just a nightmare. Many people mistake a snake dream to be a Kundalini awakening experience. What is Kundalini? If we understand that Kundalini is Kunda, Ali, Ini, such imaginations will go away. Ignorance causes people to have fear psychosis. Kunda is the fire vessel, Ali, the energy that is common for both men and women, Ini, the energy that burns, the fire energy that burns within us, whether we are man or woman, is Kundalini. Therefore, it is our life energy. This is our own life force. We need not associate any snake with this energy. A doctor from Dubai called me. This lady felt that she was going through depression of sorts, and of late she has been feeling very depressed, and her anxiety levels have also gone up. So, two extremes of emotions. One is depression, where she has no motivation to do whatever she needs to do. On the other hand, she gets anxious suddenly. She loses her energy either way. She wanted to know if this was anything to do with Kundalini awakening. I asked her to go check with a doctor, particularly a doctor who is a brain doctor, a neurologist. She went and checked and came back and told me that she has mild form of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia can come for people of many reasons. We really don't have any clue why this comes. But once again, this was a false alarm. If you have depression, anxiety, then this again has nothing to do with Kundalini awakening. Many people also call me and say they have ringing ears, dizziness. One such lady came from Pune and asked me why this was so, and she wanted to know whether there is any solution, remedy in our simplified Kundalini yoga system. I asked her to go check her ears. She went to an ENT specialist. She came back and said she had some fluid collections in the ear and she probably suffers from vertigo. Patients with vertigo condition can have dizziness and ringing ears. So ringing ears, dizziness, vertigo. Remember the connection. Once again, this has nothing to do with Kundalini awakening. My son, who is a doctor in naturopathy and yoga, had one of his patients call me and say that he has some kind of high blood pressure, rage and nausea. So he wanted to know whether there was anything to do with Kundalini awakening, an accidental Kundalini awakening. He referred that patient to me. I met that patient. I asked him what was going on and then realized that perhaps this is something to do with some kind of psychosis, a fear psychosis. He is even losing appetite over a period of time. I sent him to Dr. Elizabeth, one of our psychologists in our panel of consultants, and she verified him and said, yes, this man has got fear psychosis. This also turned out to be a false alarm. Kundalini awakening will not cause high blood pressure, rage or nausea or loss of appetite. One of the common problems for people who come to me and say they have had Kundalini awakening of sorts is a sign of headache, head pressure or back pain. This headache, head pressure, back pain may have everything to do with your nervous system and may have nothing to do with Kundalini awakening. So please check with a doctor. And once the doctor rules out any kind of nervous related problems, then perhaps you can consult a psychologist. Once the psychologist also rules out any kind of psychological related problems, then you could perhaps keep in touch with one of the Sky Yoga centers. What is Kundalini awakening? What are the signs of it, the steps involved in it, and the benefits of this? Today we will discuss that in detail. Kundalini is our life force. Our life force is made up of subtle ether energy particles. You cannot measure it, you cannot perceive it with your senses that easily. You cannot put an instrument and see what this life force is all about. It will not be seen in any X-ray or through any kind of instruments available today in the world, but it exists in human beings. The very fact that you are listening to the speech and you are understanding what's going on is proof enough that you are alive. As long as you are alive, the Kundalini Shakti functions within you. Where is this posited? It is posited in the three-dimensional center of the body, which is situated around the tailbone of the human vertebra. From there, this energy spreads throughout the body from head to toe, powering each and every cell in the body and powering our soul. Our soul is nothing but the genetic center, the three-dimensional vortex, VORTEX, which forms the magnetic center of our body. So the soul is seated within the physical body, powering our own body. Magnetism, which spreads from this genetic center, is inseparable from the life force or the soul itself. They are interconnected. It is the same life force which powers our brain. Our body consumes about 75% of the biomagnetic energy. Our brain consumes about 25% of the biomagnetic energy. Our brain is a small little mass of about 2% of the body mass, somewhere between 1 to 1.5 kilograms per human adult body. But it consumes 25% of the biomagnetic energy that we have. Everything that we want to achieve in our life, we achieve through the power of our mind, which functions with the functional center of the brain. Our life success, therefore, depends on how well we think, speak, and act. In order to succeed in our life, materially, physically, socially, financially, and spiritually, we need intellectual powers. Consciousness, therefore, must be awakened within us. In order to awaken the consciousness and achieve the purpose of our birth in our life, we need Kundalini awakening. The Kundalini is situated, as discussed, in the Mooladhara chakra. Is it possible to awaken it through mantra? Possible. There were 3 techniques known in the past to awaken Kundalini: Tantra, Yantra, Mantra. Idol worship, chanting of a mantra, Kriya techniques. Many mantras were developed in the past to awaken the Kundalini. The objective of these mantras is to increase the heat within the body by continued repeated chanting of the mantras, and thereby the Kundalini force begins to move up the spine and come from Mooladhara, root chakra, to Ajna chakra in between the eyebrows. Likewise, breathing techniques were taught in the past. Pranayama techniques of certain kind can awaken the Kundalini. Idol worships or worshipping an imaginary object such as sun, moon, flower, tree, etc. could also awaken the Kundalini. But there is a problem. A man from Mysore, who is a priest, called me saying that, Sir, I have severe headaches. I have gone to a doctor. I have checked all that he wanted me to diagnose. I have gone through those diagnostic tests and I find that there is no cause for this headache. My ache starts around the Agna Chakra and spreads throughout the forehead. Eyes become watery and I see my eyes sometimes become red shot. Obviously, he has been a priest for many years and he has been chanting certain mantras regularly over a period of time, and he certainly has had some kind of an awakening of sorts. Chanting of mantras or tantra techniques or kriya techniques could lead to accidental Kundalini awakening. I remember in 2003 meeting a group of youngsters to train them on Kundalini Yoga in Sri Lanka. We went to Sri Lanka for 3 days to learn Kundalini Yoga. There were about 25 students that were given to me from a German company, which is a software company. And I trained them on various aspects, and I also trained them on Kundalini Yoga. 2 people were particularly quite interesting to meet for me. One of them was a lady called Veena, and another one a person called Prashant. And they were following some Kriya Yoga for many years. When we started the meditation, I told them that we are going to awaken the Kundalini by the simple touch of our meditative, energized hands. They first couldn't believe it. They said, Kundalini awakening is dangerous. We should not play with it. So I told both of them and all the other students who were there, our simplified Kundalini Yoga system is safe and simple and easy to practice. Anyone above the age of 14 can very easily learn this and practice this and succeed in life. I would like you to come forward, any one of you, so that I can give a practical demonstration of how this Kundalini Yoga is taught and how Kundalini is awakened with the simple touch of the Divine Master. So Veena came forward and said, sure, I will volunteer, but I have been doing a particular form of Kriya Yoga. I hope this has no contradiction with that yoga. I assured her the Sky Yoga system has no contradiction with any other system. Once the Kundalini awakened, then she can continue to practice both the yoga forms. And I also gave her a simple explanation between Kundalini Yoga and other forms of yoga, particularly Kriya Yoga. Dharana, Pratyahara are the 2 types of yoga forms or meditation forms that are taught in most of the other yoga systems, particularly Kriya Yoga systems. Chanting of a mantra or focusing on an imaginary object. These are not truly dhyanas. Dhyana is focusing your mind over your own life force pulsation, Kundalini Shakti. And that is possible only if the Kundalini is awakened. Veena was satisfied and she sat down to get initiated. One of the lady professors who came along with me touched her Muladhara chakra and by the simple gentle touch of the hand awakened her Kundalini through the spine and brought it to Agna chakra. We could feel the life force of Veena pulsating in between the eyebrows very strongly within a few seconds. Veena could also very easily feel the life force. Veena started narrating her experience after the meditation. She said the pulsation was very real. There was nothing else that mattered for me. It was a beautiful experience. It is so gentle, it is so subtle, it is so pleasant, and it is as if I was floating somewhere. Her mind was feeling calm and peaceful after the meditation. She wasn't jumping up and down, she wasn't dancing, but she felt the Kundalini life force was gently dancing and pulsating in between her eyebrows. I think Veena accurately narrated what happens when you have your Kundalini awakened. The signs of Kundalini awakening are very simple. It is a subtle force, a gentle pulsation, a feeble pulsation sometimes. Sometimes the pulsation will be there only for a few seconds and then it will go away. You have to remain calm and peaceful. You must ignore all thoughts in your mind. You must avoid all distractions around you and outside of you. Your focus should only be over the gentle pulsation of your life force. There will be no floodgate opening, there will be no earthquake, there will be no earth shattering experience. You will not levitate. You will be sitting in whatever position that you are sitting in. Your body will not experience any movement. There will be no smell, no taste, no light, no sound. There will only be a pressure sensation. I would like you to try this for you to understand how it feels in between the eyebrows. Now close your eyes. Put your palms against each other, but keep it about 6 inches away from each other, facing each other in front of your chest. Do not touch the body with your hands. Move the palms away from each other up to 1 foot. Bring it closer to 1 inch, but do not touch the palms. Observe a pressure sensation developing in between your palms. Move it away to 1 foot. Bring it closer to 1 inch. 1 foot, 1 inch. 1 foot, 1 inch. There you go. Didn't you feel a magnetic pull, some kind of a pressure, some kind of a pulling force between your palms? That's the functioning of the magnetism powered by your Kundalini Shakti. It is this pressure that you will feel, but in a more intensified manner in between the eyebrows. When you feel this pulsation in between the eyebrows in a very gentle, feeble, calm and quiet manner, then you can reassure yourself that you have had a Kundalini awakening. It will not happen when you sleep. It will not happen when you are having physical relationship with your soul or life partner. The Kundalini awakening is not possible in an accident. Kundalini awakening is not possible when you are doing some other activity. Kundalini awakening will not happen in an accidental manner all by itself. We have seen millions of aspirants coming to us learning Kundalini meditation over the last 50-60 years. I have personally seen thousands of students in my life in the last 34-35 years since I have been a master in this Kundalini Yoga system. I have met only 2 people in the last 35 years who have had some kind of an accidental Kundalini awakening. Extremely rare cases. I remember this Muslim lady who came to us. The lady master in our system, Dr. Vandana, awakened her Kundalini life force from Mooladhara to Agna Chakra, and immediately she started experiencing vibrations throughout the body. We had to quickly give her Mooladhara Shanti initiation and also give Tanduvada Shuddhi, clearance practice. Within a few minutes, she settled down and she was able to continue practicing it. I remember this lady vividly because this is one of those rare experiences that we have seen. Another man who came to our center in Bangalore in November 2019 in our workshop also had a very similar experience. Those are the 2 experiences that I can recall in the last 35 years. When people have had some kind of an excessive energy because of past experiences. Both have been doing some other form of meditation. Both have been having some kind of a spiritual practice that led to increasing or intensifying the energy field in between the eyebrows. But we were able to quickly, easily ground that energy to Mooladhara Chakra with again the power of the Divine Master's hands. and help them handle that energy very easily. So once you learn Shanti meditation, your Kundalini energy will come under your control. You will know exactly what to do with that energy. When the life force is situated at the Agna Chakra or later at the Sahasrara Chakra or later at the higher level chakras, you will be able to retain the spiritual intensified energy within the body. The body is a physical object, but the soul, the life force, is powered by ethereal particles. The ether particles are lighter in nature. The physical body is heavier in nature. The physical body is drawn to the center of the earth. The lighter particles are thrown away from the center of the earth. So we are constantly losing life energy particles from our body. When we do Agna meditation with the help of the Sky Yoga Master, gently initiating you into this Agna meditation, you will be able to retain the life force energy particles through the feedback loop that you have now created. The energy levels will intensify and increase at the Agna Chakra. The energy levels will continue to increase for the first 5 to 7 days. You will not be able to withstand the intensified energy beyond about a week or 10 days. And that is the time when you must learn Shanti Mooladhara meditation. Only in our Sky Yoga system, systematized and gifted to us by our Guru Yogiraj Sri Vethathiri Maharishi, you will be able to learn Shanti meditation and bring the energy back to Mooladhara Chakra. Without practice of Kundalini Yoga at the Mooladhara Chakra, your life energy will go out of your control. Your mind will start to race. You will not be able to keep your thoughts under your control without Shanti meditation. But with Shanti meditation, your mind will absolutely come under your control. You will gain the power to transform your spiritual energy into physical biomagnetic energy. The body becomes the battery for the life force to continue to store in an intensified manner within the body with the help of Shanti meditation. So Shanti meditation is vital, it is important, it is imperative that you learn this before you practice any other higher forms of Kundalini Yoga such as the Sahasrara Crown Chakra meditation or Duryatita meditation or the 9 chakras meditation. What are the 9 chakras? Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraha, Anahata, Visuddhi, Agna, Sahasrara are the 7 chakras within the body. Each of these 7 chakras are related to one of the endocrine glands. Mooladhara is associated with sexual gland on one side and adrenal on the other. Swadhisthana is right over the sexual gland. Manipuraha is over the pancreas, which is both an exocrine and an endocrine gland. Anahata is over thymus. Visuddhi is over thyroid. Agna is over pituitary. Dhurya, Sahasrara, is over pineal gland. Apart from these 7 chakras, there are 2 other chakras that are outside of the body. One is the universal energy field and the almighty static field. You must first learn Agna Chakra initiation, then Shanti followed by Sahasrara meditation. Only when you learn these 3 meditations, you will be able to withstand the Kundalini force within your body. When the life force functions, Kundalini Shakti functions at the Agna Chakra, your brain will experience subtle alpha levels of frequency. Usually, in a wakeful state of mind, the brain operates between 14 and 40 cycles per second. When we do Agna meditation, it begins to experience alpha state between 8 and 13 cycles per second. It will not remain stable at the alpha level at the Agna Chakra. In order to remain stable at alpha, you must learn and practice Sahasrara Dhurya meditation. The initiation from Mooladhara to Agna is done with the touch of the Divine Master's hands. The initiation from Agna to Dhuryam is done with the eye power of the Divine Master. When you do Dhurya meditation over the pineal gland, your brain will remain at the subtle, calm, peaceful alpha state of the mind between 8 and 13 cycles per second. We normally experience alpha state of mind when we go to sleep. Sleep with dreams is called alpha state of the mind by scientists. In our Sky Yoga system, when we do Dhurya meditation, we experience the same calm, peaceful state of mind without going to sleep. That is the key. We must remain at the alpha state of the mind because when we meditate at Dhuryam, the gateway to Brahma opens for us, gateway to God, gateway to divine state opens for us. When we raise our mind above to the universal energy field, to the almighty static state, we go to even subtler frequencies from alpha to theta between 4 and 7 cycles per second and down to delta between 0.5 to 3 cycles per second. Theta is called deep sleep, sleep without dreams. Delta is called coma state. Once Swamiji, our Vedatri Maharishi, was asked, can you prove that your mind actually goes to such subtle frequencies? So he sat in meditation while the doctors connected his brain to an EEG machine, and within a few minutes, the machine stopped functioning. They thought something was wrong with the machine. Nothing was wrong with the machine. A few minutes passed, Swamiji came back to his alpha state. The machine started functioning once again. The scientists were amazed. How was this possible? This has been made possible to us by our Guru. We can reach the thoughtless state or samadhi state, where we go to almost near zero frequency and remain one with that almighty state, the primordial state. Such a state is possible only through our simplified Kundalini Yoga meditation. When you are ready to reach that state, our Sky Yoga Masters will initiate you through the power of the mind to Dhuryatita level. The Dhuryatita level, the infinite Dhurya level, the abundant state, the almighty consciousness state opens within your mind with the power of the mind of the divine Sky Yoga Master. When you have learnt the Dhuryatita level, you must practice that practically every day. When you practice this, your mind becomes stable at even calmer theta or delta levels of frequency. Even if you are able to experience the thoughtlessness state for a few seconds during the course of the meditation, you have achieved great success in your life in going towards the origin of who you are. You have reached your destination. In order to achieve the purpose of our life, there are 3 simple things that we need to do. We need to get rid of our ego, our illusion, and sin imprints. Over thousands of years of evolution, we have acquired imprints. Every action, thought, word, or deed has become an imprint, as a magnetic knot, K-N-O-T, in our genetic center. We have inherited this genetic center from our parents. And this genetic center is millions of years old. Our actions in our lifetime, words, deeds, and thoughts, are converted into imprints. And these imprints are added into the genetic center. Our desires, our will-based, futuristic ambitions and desires also become imprints and stored in our genetic center. So the genetic center is like a computer hard disk. It has got a C drive, D drive, E drive. Sanchita karma, inherited imprints. Prarabdha karma, this birth's experiences as imprints. Akamya karma, man's desire-based futuristic resultant imprints. as the third partition of our hard disk or our memory or our spiritual memory called as the genetic center. Our job in our lifetime is to get rid of these karmic imprints. Only when we get rid of karmic imprints, we can understand, realize, and remain one with the Almighty Force. That state is called Samadhi. And this is not something that you achieve after you die. This is something that you achieve during your lifetime. The greatest benefit of Kundalini awakening is self realization, Samadhi. You can do it. Awaken your Kundalini, feel the life force every day. Once your life force is awakened, it is always awakened. You can feel your life force in whichever chakra you want, whenever you want, how much ever time that you want. Even while I am speaking to you right now, I can feel my life force Kundalini Shakti pulsating. This is the greatest gift I have received in my life. And I would like you to receive this gift in your life. And I would like you to retain this gift for the rest of your life. Force and our Guru shower you all with good health, long life, enough wealth, peace, prosperity, fame, and wisdom. Thank you all for listening in. Thank you for being there. Thank you for inspiring me to do what I am doing. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Be blessed by the divine. Thank you very much, sir, for the excellent and enlightening speech. You have beautifully, very beautifully explained about the Kundalini Yoga through a story, the story of a German lady and a doctor from Dubai. The meaning of how, what is a Kunda plus Ali plus Ani and its location. Yes, the Kundalini the consciousness must be awakened, and that Kundalini awakening is required, which is situated at Muladhara. Then some mantras, which is increasing the heat in the body, and Kundalini is awakened. The pranayama techniques, idol worship, but there are problems due to all these techniques. And in our sky system, which does not cause any impact with the Kundalini Yoga, and how gentle it is done, and what kind of pleasure one can feel. All the situations which is not possible for Kundalini awaken with some examples was beautifully explained by you, sir. Thank you very much. And the means to bring this Kundalini into control through Shanti meditation, which is available only in sky system, practicing Turiya meditation, the different frequencies, Swamiji's experience, and the sin imprints. All was very well explained with the very beautiful examples like a storytelling to the children. Thank you very much, sir. Now the forum is open for discussion. Please click on the raise button in your Zoom app to ask your questions. While you get ready with the questions, we have some important announcements. During this COVID time, enhancing our immunity is the need of the hour. Practice Kayakalpa regularly, which helps to improve our immunity system. If you are not at learned Kayakalpa Yoga, please visit kayakalpayoga.edu.in and download the Android app. Please recommend it to your friends and relatives and let they also be benefited. WCSC Vision for Wisdom is conducting online foundation courses and certificate courses in English, Tamil, and Kannada. Please visit kundaliniyoga.edu.in for further details. Please refer to your friends and relatives to join this course. Our monthly journal, Anboli, is also available in Android app. Please download the app from the Android Play Store. Get access to the premium content of Swamiji speeches. You can also connect with us on Facebook and YouTube at Sky Yoga TV to listen to all past speeches of our professors on various aspects of Sky Yoga. Karma Yoga principle of Vedatriyam suggests donating 1% of income to the good cause of the society. Be generous. Please donate to the World Community Service Center. You can do this through multiple channels, either through the Anboli app or through our official website, vedatri.edu.in. Just to mention, you also get the IT exemption, ATG IT exemption certificate for these donations. Now, of course, we can handle the questions. Okay, so Galaxy A30. May I know a good name? Galaxy A30, I have sent a request to unmute yourself and you can raise your question, madam or sir. Galaxy A30, yes. Please ask your question. You're already unmuted, madam or sir.
Oh, sorry. My name is Hemalata. My question is Kundalini arising is same as Kundalini awakening?
Be blessed by the divine. That's right, ma'am. Many people use this interchangeably. Awakening and rising is one and the same.
Okay. So does my other question is, once the Kundalini awakening happens, does it happen to each and everyone who gets initiated, or sometimes it won't happen to someone?
In very rare cases, it takes a little bit of effort, sometimes 3, 4 attempts, sometimes even over a period of 1 week, it takes for somebody to start feeling it. While we, as Sky Yoga masters, can feel the life force pulsation of the life force of the student, the aspirant, almost instantaneously. The aspirant's mental frequency is not calm enough for them to observe their own life force pulsation. So it takes a little bit of training for them to feel it. But those are very rare cases. 99.99% of the cases, the observation or awakening of the life force is almost instantaneous. Within the first 10-15 seconds, you will start to feel a gentle pulsation.
Okay. Sorry, sir. My other question.
Rajaraman, Rajaraman sir, please, yes.
Yes. Audible, sir?
Yes, you're audible, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes. Rajaram from Chennai, Padadangal. Very beautiful explanation given by Chris sir. The word divided, Kundam, Ali, Ini. Very beautiful explanation given. I'm very much happy, satisfied. I got 2 doubts, sir. You are using some words, the subtle ether particles. It is what a vortex. I want to know the difference between vortex and spinning. Both are same or different. Then,
Anything
question
that
is,
spins, let me answer this question, sir. Thank you for your
both
appreciation.
are same?
The spinning, anything that spins must have a center. Anything
Okay.
that spins, any wheel that spins must have a center. Without a center, nothing can spin.
But
So
vortex
a
means
magnetic vortex gets formed as the magnetic field is a continually um, uh, rotating field. It is spreading field from a center. It's like a ripple wave that starts from the center of a lake or center of a pond and then spreads across. Likewise, the magnetic energy spreads throughout the body, and in the form there is a north pole and a south pole that gets formed. These are like a microcosmic circuits that get formed, and these cross circuits, when they cross each other at the central point, that center point is called the vortex. Without the vortex, the magnetism cannot spread.
Okay.
So spinning is different from vortex from that particular context. I hope I'm clear.
Okay. Another doubt is, usually some words, Kriya Yoga. My doubt is, Kundalini Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Raj Yoga, all are same or different?
Kundalini Yoga is a form of Raja Yoga.
Oh,
Kriya means action. Kriya
that
Yoga
means
is action based yoga. It could be physical part of yoga, or it could be physical gestures or movements coupled with certain mental and certain sound-based activities. It could be mantra chanting along with a certain mudra, for instance. And those are called Kriya Yogas. Those are a different form of yogas, usually considered one level before the Kundalini Yoga. So can be taught, Kriya Yoga can be taught in most cases for younger children, whereas Kundalini Yoga cannot be taught for anyone below 14. Above the physical maturity only, one can learn Kundalini Yoga.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Be blessed, divine.
Thank you very much, sir. Raghav Grover, sir, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you sir, for the beautiful explanation. I was trying to know if someone has accidental Kundalini awakening, then how much of Shanti meditation is required to like completely be normal?
Usually within the first few minutes, it becomes normal. But like I said, 99.99% of the cases, it is nothing to do with accidental Kundalini awakening. A very rare cases we have seen it. I've seen only 2 or 3 cases in my lifetime. Other senior professors may have seen a few more that they may have experienced in their lifetime. But those 2 cases, we were able to see improvement within the first 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Thank you very much, sir. Are there any other questions? There are no questions even in the chat box also, sir.
Professor Shashi Prasad, why don't you allow people to have a conversation with me rather than cutting them off immediately after they finish their questions, so that if they have further questions, they can ask.
Not there. Ilamurugan sir has come now, sir.
Please.
Ilamurugan sir, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Professor Krish. It's really wonderful. And one question I would like to clarify, sir. I've read somewhere it's written as Kundalini as a sleeping serpent in the Muladhara. Is it just a personification they say this way, or is there any other and I would like to get some more clarification on this, sir, if you don't mind.
There are several microcosmic circuits. There are 3 important microcosmic circuits that are often referred during the discussions of Kundalini Yoga. Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, and Sushumna Nadi. The Ida Nadi is believed to be made up of ether energy particles inherited from our mother. Pingala Nadi, the right side microcosmic circuit, is made up of ether energy particles inherited from our father. So our father and mother's life energy is what powers us. Our own ether energy particles that we have acquired from birth to now is believed to be operating in the central Nadi, Sushumna Nadi. Now, there are various differences of opinion in these theories, but I'm overgeneralizing this for easy understanding of the listeners.
Okay.
So when these 3 nadis or microcosmic circuits are drawn together, when they function together, it creates a coil-like formation around the spinal column. Okay. Therefore, to make it to explain it to people, explain it to children, they formed that serpent-like structure.
Okay.
So the serpent has that coil-like structure.
Okay.
So likewise, these 2 things, these 3 things are created into a serpent-like structure. And from there, various interpretations of these structures have also evolved. Twin flame is also another reference to the same structure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That was so nice explanation. Thank you, Walt.
Thank you very much. Galaxy A30, is it Hema, madam?
Sir, it's me again. Thank you. My question is, I can't feel the life energy the same way, like from the Agna to Muladhara during Shanti, like how I feel from the energy rising from the Muladhara to Agna every time. So basically I can't feel Shanti much. That's my question. how it is rectified?
Practice. Number one, regularly practice Shanti meditation. Every night before you go to bed, do Shanti meditation for 5 to 10 minutes. Every time after you have a meal, maybe twice a day or thrice a day when you have meal, after the meal, sit down, do Shanti meditation for a few minutes. Then the fourth thing is every week, um, twice a day, at least on a Friday. We all meditate in Shanti meditation on Friday. So, as a practice, standard practice, you too can meditate in Shanti twice a day on Fridays. Perhaps, if necessary, you can also do it for one more extra day every week. Even better than that would be for you to go to a Sky Yoga center nearby in these during COVID times. I'm not sure which center is open. Wherever it is open, you can go and practice, do group meditation along with other professors and teachers, and they may be able to help touch and intensify the life energy at Muladhara Chakra. Another simple way of doing it is the sixth method is Ashwini Mudra before starting of the Shanti meditation. It is taught as part of our Kayakalpa Yoga. You can, if you have learned it, great. Otherwise, please learn it and do Ashwini Mudra before start of Shanti meditation. 10 times Ashwini Mudra will help you to activate the Muladhara Chakra much more strongly, and you'll be able to feel the life force pulsating there. The seventh and very interesting method suggested by our Guru Yogiraj Sri Vedatri Maharishi is when you go to bed in the night, let us say, you put the middle three fingers of your left hand across the right shoulder over the first, second, and third bone of the vertebra. Press all the three positions. This is the first acupressure point in the 14-point acupressure in our Sky Yoga system. And then take the right index finger, right hand index finger, place it on the back over the Muladhara Chakra and hold that point, Muladhara Chakra point, for about 5 minutes if possible. There should not be any pain with your hands or shoulder, just take care of it. So you might need to lie down on your left shoulders when you are lying down and place the right index finger over the Muladhara Chakra, the left three fingers, the middle three fingers over the first acupressure point in the 14-point acupressure. Meditate over the Muladhara Chakra for a few minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then go to bed. All these 7 different methods that we have now shared with you will help you to intensify your Muladhara Chakra. You must feel your life force pulsating in your Muladhara as strongly as you feel it at the Agna Chakra. When you do that, higher level meditation becomes absolutely easy and simple for you to succeed. Good luck.
Thank you so much, sir. That's wonderful answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Sushil Kindurkar.
Balavalam, sir. Hello. Murli, sir, very happy to hear.
Sir, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Sir, Murli, sir, whether morning meditation sessions are going on still, or in any way, any chance to start that morning 6 o'clock meditation?
Sir, 5:15 onwards, there is Tamil meditation going on up to 6 o'clock. From 6 to 7, there is exercise session going on live in RDR Zoom, in the same RDR Zoom session that you are joined right now. And 7 to 7:30, we have English meditation every day, sir.
Yes, the schedule is the same.
7 to 7:30 English.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Be blessed.
Thank you very much, sir. Kasturi madam, you can be on.
Vargavalamudan, sir. First of all, congratulations, sir, for the Guinness World Record achievement.
No, we have not achieved it. We are going to achieve it together. You are also going to be part of it. We have only gotten a green signal from Guinness Book of World Records to go ahead and schedule the event on March 28th. So we are signing an agreement with them in the next week or so, and then there will be a grand announcement about it, and you all can participate. We are all going to together do it. I can't do this all by myself, and this is going to be done in the name of Swamiji and in the name of World Community Service Center. So it's not a one-man's achievement here.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. Definitely will achieve, sir. Thank you, sir. The word you coined for the Kundalini awakening is really wonderful, sir. That subtle sensation, feeble sensation, pleasant sensation, everything is really wonderful, sir. Uh, the, the word itself makes the Kundalini life force ஒரு பூரிப்பா இருக்கு. It's goosebump. My question is, sir, எல்லா நேரத்துலயும் நம்மால அந்த ஒரே நிலையில இருக்க முடியலங்க சார். பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் ஆங்ஸைட்டி we couldn't in the state of in the calm state. What is the reason, sir?
Expectations.
At the same time, I felt that always I am in awareness state. I couldn't sleep, but thoughts are sometimes there are some thoughts, sometimes no thoughts also, sir. But always I am in awareness state. I don't know why it is.
You're using 3 different words. Please use this little judiciously. You're talking about anxiety. You're talking about thoughts interfering you. You're talking about staying calm and peaceful and being aware of it. So 3 words: aware, thoughts disturbing you, and
Yes.
anxiety. So which one you want me to answer?
I need a thoughtless state, and I need to sleep without anxiety. That I
Good.
need.
So let's attack the anxiety first. Anxiety comes only because of expectations. So
Okay.
list all your expectations. Hidden within the expectation is your anxiety about achieving them. Anxiety is another form of worry.
Our
So all you
duties
need
are
to do is to eradicate the anxiety. So classify your reasons for anxiety. That is, your expectations can be classified into 4 categories. Okay. Plan and act. So financial worries, time-bound worries. So these are anxieties that you can classify under plan and act. I need money. Okay, I need money. What is the point in me getting anxious about it today? So plan and say, okay, this month I'm going to launch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, and I'm going to try and earn money in these ways. This is my target. This is my schedule. This is my effort. These are my resources, and I'm going to achieve this. If I'm not going to achieve it, I'm going to come back and replan. So keep planning and acting again and again. Financial worry will go, anxiety will go away. Second, postpone worries. My daughter, let us say my grandson, okay, my grandson is 1.5 years old today. Why should I be anxious about him growing and getting into college education and studying? It's not something that I need to worry about it today. Okay, I need to worry about it, or I need to think about it at the time when I need to think about it. There's actually no use in me worrying about his future today. Whatever I need to do, I need to do for him today. Okay, the fellow wants to play, he wants to go up and see the crows and the parakeets and the miners and birds, and that's all he's interested in at this point of time. Okay, so he wants some his food, he wants his excretionary comforts every now and then. That's all. Beyond that, the fellow doesn't require anything else. So we have to learn from him and learn to postpone these anxieties for future reasons. Second one. The third one is anxieties or worries or expectations that you need to endure. My wife got cancer. Okay, she got cancer. What can I do about it? No point in me worrying about it. I need to act on it, perhaps immediately, perhaps in a systematic manner, perhaps by talking to various experts in the field, and approach it in a scientific, logical manner, give her whatever treatment I need to give, to help her cope with this particular situation and prevent further deterioration in her life. That's all I need to do. How is my anxiety going to help her in doing that? So enduring is a great way of managing our anxiety in anxieties that we cannot do anything about. The death of a near one, for instance, a very similar anxiety that we need to deal with. The last category that Swamiji has offered as a beautiful way to categorize and solve our anxieties is to ignore. Criticisms of others. Classic example. People will think 20 different things about you. So why does it matter what they think? Ignore and move on. So sit every day with a diary and a pen. Allocate half an hour, 1 hour every day of your time. Write down your anxieties. Write down the underlying expectations that are driving the anxieties. Classify them in these 4 categories. Superimpose with a resolution. The classification itself becomes a resolution in that case. Write down what is the exact thought to superimpose. Do Duriya meditation. Go to alpha level of frequency. Pick the exact old pattern of thinking, the imprints, the microcosmic neural circuit in the brain. Activate it. When will you get anxiety? Take that moment. And now, tomorrow, when that anxiety hits you, you are not going to get anxious. This is the new resolution. I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, etc. Keep superimposing that auto suggestion, the power of superimposition, visualization, superimposition. Keep doing that. Anxiety will vanish from your lifetime.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much, sir. We have Rajaraman sir again on the. Sir, please unmute yourself and yes. Sir, you got muted again. Please unmute.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
I am coming again. My doubt is the Kundalini energy is otherwise called serpent energy. It in the form of one or two rounds of coils. It is in a static state. While awakening, what will be the speed through the one of the nadis? It will move like a serpent or a rocket straight forward movement.
It's very difficult to observe such movements. It is not a pattern study that is possible. It is, you can only feel the life force as a gentle, feeble, tingling sensation, pulsation. That's all you will be able to feel it. And you can feel it at anywhere in the body at any point of time. That really means that it travels at the speed of your mind.
Okay. Be blessed, be divine.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir. Varuna Devi, madam, please unmute yourself, madam.
Be blessed by the divine, sir.
All right. Be blessed.
Can we do Shanti meditation in the lying position, sir?
Preferably not. See, when the body is lying down, see, please understand how your brain works. Brain associates behaviors with locations. If you sit on a dining table, you will feel hungry, you will want to eat. If you sit on a toilet seat, you will want to excrete. If you sit in a bus, you will want to watch here, there. If you sit behind the wheel in a car, you will want to concentrate on driving. If you like that, if you sit on a bicycle, you will feel like riding. So these are actions that are programmed in the neural networks of the brain. It's actually a beautiful way in which you can program yourself. For instance, if you want to remember 50 different things in your life, all that you need to do is write down those 50 different things in 50 different unique locations inside your house. And just walk through those 50 locations on 10 times. You will remember that forever in your life.
Okay.
So apply the same logic to your question. You will understand the answer that if you lie down, your brain says, ma'am, it's time to go to bed. Go to sleep, it will tell you. You will not be able to meditate. So
yes, sir.
Meditating lying down.
Yeah.
Avoid that, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Wow. Be blessed by the divine.
Be blessed.
Thank you very much, madam. Walhala, madam. Hema, madam, you can unmute yourself, madam.
Thank you, Vargavan, sir. My last question. This is one of my friends questioned this long ago. I suddenly remember. As far as this Kundalini awakening, she got initiated, but she's practicing the meditation on and off because she's busy working. So once awakened, it will be permanent, or if she's doing on and off meditation, she has to get reinitiation again.
Once initiated, always initiated. There is no need for you to come back to a Sky Yoga center to get initiated. Perhaps out of lack of practice, the person may have forgotten how to observe the life force pulsation. So it's useful to get back to the Sky Yoga Center and do some group meditation with other like-minded meditators, or even take some touch to intensify the life force at the Ajna Chakra or at other chakras that you want to feel the life force. It will certainly help you to feel the life force much more strongly than otherwise.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Varaka Valamatan, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, madam. Yes, sir. So we are done with the questions. And okay, so thank you very much, sir, for the patiently answering all the questions and giving in deep insights and the divine thoughts for everyone with patience. It's time for us to express our gratitude. Let's all come into the Turiya state and let us bless our Professor Usha Madam, who has conducted the wonderful meditation. Professor Usha Madam, be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Her good health, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. Her loving family, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. Her divine service, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. Now let us bless our Krish Murlishwar sir. Professor Krish Murlishwar sir, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine. His good health, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. His loving family, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. His divine service, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful speech. Please keep enlightening us with such wonderful topics from time to time. We would like to extend our blessings to the Sky Meditators for their kind donations yesterday. Your generous donations will help us to a lot to serve the society. By the grace of the divine, may you and your family enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. We are happy to bring the following online programs live from Aliyar Temple of Consciousness tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 5:15 a.m., we have the 9th Center meditation conducted by Hosur Zone along with the Aliyar IT team. At 11 a.m., we have the speech in Tamil on the topic Ayunarum Mayunarum by Professor Nanmani from Madurai. In the evening at 5:45, the meditation in Tamil conducted by Hosur Zone along with the Aliyar IT team. And at 6:30 p.m., we have the re-telecast of the morning speech. In the evening 7:30 p.m., we have the 9th Center meditation in Telugu by Professor M. Jnanashekar Reddy and a speech at 8 p.m. on the topic World Peace by Professor Jnanashekar Reddy. Please share the program invite with your friends and relatives. Let everyone take part in this spiritual journey and get benefited. We thank our beloved President, Arulnidhi Padma Shri S.K. Mayananandam sir, for his leadership, continuous support and guidance. Looking forward to see you all tomorrow. Till then, stay safe and practice our Kundalini Yoga. This is Shashi Prasad from Aliyar World Community Service Center IT team. Be blessed by the divine. Let us now conclude the session with the world blessing. May the world be blessed with a plenty of rain. The farmers work to produce an abundance of grain. Let practitioners of all prosper, flourish and grow, and culture progress through the need of share and grow. Let the rulers be beyond feelings of anger or fear, illiteracy, poverty, and all evils made to disappear. Let the true lamp of knowledge burn steady and bright, Our sense of duty guide us along pathways always right. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Good night, everybody.